Okay, so as I said in the other video, you don't need to do these very intricate patterns like this. Okay, there are lots of other designs which can be just as beautiful if they are done neatly and controlled. So this one's quite simple, but it's still quite effective. Okay, we've also got this one here, which has got lovely spotted sides here. That's also very effective. And we've also got this one here with the really nice kind of wavy scales. So I'm just going to run you through quickly how to do those different techniques. So this one's fairly simple. You would just join the wire at the top and then to the side again, just like I did at the front section of this fish. Okay. Now, if you're wanting to create a kind of a wavy pattern like this, or a zigzag pattern, the easiest thing to do is to create these waves or zigzags before you put them onto the fish. So you would need to start with a fairly long piece of wire. This one's a little bit too short, so I'm just going to get a slightly longer one. Remember, you can always cut it shorter if you need to, but you don't want to create this beautiful pattern and then find out it's not long enough for your fish. Now, if you're wanting a wavy pattern like this, what you can do is you can smooth it with your fingers and your thumbs, and you can use your fingers. You can use your fingers to wrap it around. You see, I've just got one finger here, and then I move it and I wrap it around the other way. I move my finger along like this. Okay, so I'm creating this sort of wavy pattern. Or you can use a felt tip pen or something from your pencil case. Something that's nice and chunky is probably going to be more successful. So something like that is really good for making these little curves. So if I just show you this. So you just simply take the pen, leave a long section at the end to attach it to the side of your fish, and then simply just wrap that round, move it along, wrap it around the other way like that. Okay, and again, you just repeat the process. As I said, it doesn't really matter whether you want to use your finger or whether you want to use a pen. Okay? And you can change those shapes, so you can move them a little bit closer, yeah, or you can have them a little bit further apart. It really doesn't matter. Now, if you're wanting to create zigzags, okay, it's a very similar process. So this time, just like when we were doing those angular bends, okay, you can either use your thumbnail like this, okay, or your fingernail like this, or, as I said earlier, you can use the edge of a pair of scissors. Just carefully bend that over, repeat the process until you get these zigzag patterns. Now they can look really nice if you run them along the body like this. Okay, so I'm just going to make a slightly longer piece. Now don't forget, your piece needs to be longer than the distance between here and here, because it needs to curve out like this. So make a little bit more than you think you're going to need. Okay, and just all the way along like this. There we go. And you would just attach it in exactly the same way that you would do your tail or your fins. So again, I'm just holding it here at the front. Okay, I'm wrapping it round. Move these other ones out the way. You can always put them back again. 3 times round, and then cut my excess off. Okay, then you put that back into place. You simply curve it upwards like this. Okay, until you're happy that it's in the right position. See, now that is a little bit too high. So remember, your lines want to be lower the closer to the face and the tail they are. So I've got 2 choices really. I can pull it a little bit tighter, or I can push these lines closer together, and that affects how high that is. There we go. So I've just pushed those together. So I can do the same thing with the zigzags. I can push them a little bit closer together, okay, and then that brings the line down a little bit. Okay, so this one hasn't got an amazing curve. It could be a little bit more pronounced, that means a bit higher, okay, but it does have a slight curve to it. Okay, so that's how you would do a zigzag or a wavy pattern. Now, the other one, which is nice as well, is a spotty design. That's also can be done using your finger or a felt tip pen like this. Again, same principle applies. You need a little bit more than you think you'll need. Okay, again, leave a little bit at the bottom. wrap it round at least once. You can wrap it more than once if you want, so you can wrap it twice. That just gives it a bit more stability, okay? And just simply slide it off the pen like that. Now, it depends how far apart you want your circles to be. Okay, I'm probably going to put mine about there. Okay, I'm going to wrap it around twice again, just to give it a bit of stability. And you can see that we're starting to build up a patterned stripe that you can add on the side of the body. And again, that's exactly the same process as when we were adding the zigzags or the swirls. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few for now. And again, I would just attach it to the end of the body, holding it tightly with my finger and thumb, very carefully winding that on. Okay, and then cutting it off. Remember to cover that with your hands so it doesn't fly into people's faces. And then just reattach it at the end on the other end, like that. Simple. Okay, so when it comes to making the eye, it's up to you really how you want it to look. Some people like to have these double eyes, so they've got almost like a little iris in the centre. Some people like to have a more kind of spiral shape. Oh, let's move that out of the way, a more spiral shape. Like, it really is up to you. Now, you can choose to do this quite simply with your fingers, but if you do, you must be really careful that you're not doing this too tightly, because obviously you don't want to hurt your fingers. So very gently, just wrap it round. What you shouldn't do is tightly twist the wire around your finger, because you're going to end up blocking the blood circulation, and that's going to be very, very painful. So if you are going to do it with your finger, as opposed to wrapping it around the finger, you're just carefully using your finger, look, to bend the shape. Can you see I'm not attaching the wire to my finger? I'm not wrapping it really tightly. I'm just carefully bending it, and I'm moving it round in a circle like this, okay? Maybe 2 or 3 times will probably be enough, okay? Now, it's advisable to secure these different circles together, okay? So what you can do is you can take one of the ends and just wrap it around like this, okay? Once or twice is fine, you don't need to do it more than that. Okay, there we go. And then again on the opposite side, so hold it tight with your finger and thumb, pull it through, wrap it once, wrap it twice. Okay. Now, it's really important that you've got these wires, because you need to attach it to your fish. Okay, so you can see that this eye here is attached at the top and the bottom. Yeah, it is possible to attach it to one of the sides. Okay, so in my design, okay, I'm going to be attaching it to the side here, that's just there, and also to this wire here. It doesn't matter as long as you've secured it to your sculpture in some way. Now, if you wanted to do the double circle, so the outside of the eye and the iris, you can again use some felt tip pens. So just take your pen and loop it around like this, just like you did when you were doing we were doing the circles for the body. There we go. So we've got a larger one, and you might want to maybe use a pencil or something like that, just to create a smaller inner kind of iris like this. Just once or twice, a few times if you want. You don't have to do it loads and loads of times. Okay, and then you can simply attach one inside the other, like that. So I'm just going to, now this is a bit fiddly, so make sure you're holding it really tight with your finger and your thumb as always, leaving yourself a little bit to attach it. And again, up the other side. There we go. Now you've got 4 wires there, you don't need all 4. Yeah, you can simply bring these outer ones round and twist them together. And then you've got a really nice, stable eye, which you can securely fasten to your fish sculpture, like that. There we go.